Hello, my name is Voya and welcome to My Deep Guide. Well, today we got a special one, Boox Mira. Yes, it is here. It's a review loan device, so I have to be quick with testing and all that kind of stuff. But the cool news is that Dasung were very fair and very cool about it, and they let me keep their Dasung paper-like review loan unit as well for a couple of more weeks, so that I can run these tests back to back and not just compare them from memory and from video. So that's gonna be an interesting one, but that's to come a little bit later. For now, it's going to be the unboxing and first impressions of Mira, the 13.3 e-ink external monitor from Boox. Let's check it out. And here we have the Boox Mira. This is something that I've been looking forward to actually testing out and seeing, especially after I had the opportunity to test out the Dasung 13.3-inch monitor. So what I'm going to be doing is, as usual, I'm just going to unbox this and do the first impressions. Then I'm going to do my in-depth review, because I'm going to spend some time testing out the unit. And then finally, we're going to be also comparing this with the Dasung to actually see how they fare between each other, because they're the two main competitors, and these are really pricey devices for a very niche type of a customer. So I think that I better do a detailed job on these, because if you're gonna shell out the amount of cash these things actually cost for a 13.3-inch device, yeah, you better have enough info. So that's the plan. For now, let's unbox this puppy and see what we get in this massive, quite weighty packaging. So same style of packaging as the other devices, basically identical to the Max Lumi. And now let's see what we get. Okay, so you get, this is a part of it. Oh, this is so cool. All right, so you get the, nice, I didn't know that. I really didn't know that this is actually built-in part of the display itself. This is a really smart design. So this is the device, and inside we get a quick start guide, and we get two boxes, one of which is for cables and Visa mounting, I believe. Let's check it out. Yep, you get the USB-C to USB-C cable, you get the HDMI cable, and you get the Visa mounting screws. The other box is for the documentation, which is going to be I guess more detailed and in more languages, quick start series, and a warranty card. So in total, you get a fairly comprehensive package. You get a device which is built in with the cover, which is a very nice thing to see. You get the documentation, you get the HDMI cable, USB-C to USB-C, and Visa mounting screws. Fairly complete and pretty much everything that you need to get started. Now, let's move these things out of the way and focus on the Mira. So the quick start guide says that you can connect via the Type-C ports. So supplied C port cable connects to a full-featured Type-C port of your computer. So I do have a laptop that's supposed to support that, so we're gonna test that. You can connect via the HDMI high-definition port. I'll definitely test that as well. And there's also, which I didn't know, a computer client software which you can install, which is supposed to be able to cycle between speed mode, image mode, and video mode, and text mode. So that's a thing. And then we got physical buttons, which are functions to call out the adjustment menu, fully refresh the screen, and scroll wheel toggle up and down to switch the functions. Hopefully, yeah, we got the speed as well. So hopefully we can actually adjust the speed of the screen as well. We don't have to install that program, but if you do, It's supposed to be at boox.com.support, and then you probably find it somewhere, or you actually just use the QR code, I believe. All right, let's focus on the device itself, because I really am surprised that this is built in. This is such a cool thing to see. And also this doubles as a stand, because it also kind of goes back. Yep, it has a magnetic thing here. And then you can probably, yep, set it like this. So basically it bends around here, has a leg support there, and you're supposed to easily adjust it like this. For me, this definitely works, especially with the combination of these things. So let's see. Yep, it's better like that. Now, if you need to interact with it, it's fairly stable. It's not... it's what I would expect it to be. So this seems to be a good design, first impression wise. The first impressions also is that I absolutely love the design idea that it's part of it. This cover is the usual kind of rubberized felt type of a feel here, and this is not real fabric. This is more that kind of synthetic fabric type of a feel with the Boox logo here. The device itself is, it looks like metal single body with a plastic looking bezel on top. Yeah, that's plastic, and a tiny little indentation for the screen. And then we have the actual screen panel. On the front we have the bezel, screen colored bezel, which I wish Max Lumi was. I mean, look how cool this is. Even a little bit darker and then it would have been cool. Like, why not? Okay, fine. Then we have the, I would believe, a power button or a refresh button. We'll see. Let's check. That's a refresh button. On one side we have, I believe, a power button. No, that's a function button. On the bottom we have two rubber feet so that it doesn't skid around. On the other side we have a rocker to choose the functions, or the wheel they call it. However, this is made out of plastic, and for the price point, when everything else is made so nicely, this should have been made out of metal. Then we got the mini HDMI, you got the USB-C port. We've got two USB-C ports, so I'm not entirely sure if they both work like this, or one is for power and one is like this and that. So we'll see. I'll definitely test it out. So that is the layout of the Mira 13.3 inch external e-ink monitor. So now I'm gonna bring out the laptop and hook it up and then power it up and see what we get, because that's pretty much it. Oh yeah, and super important, on the back you got the 75 by 75 standard millimeter standard of the VESA mounting, and use the stand that you want for your device. The only thing that I don't understand is, yes, you can. So this is magnetic. Wow, that's Lucy. She's asking for something. So this is a metal unibody fully, and then it's much lighter. So this is the one that's actually quite weighty. This becomes much lighter. So then you take off the cover. Yes, Lucy, I'll be there in a minute. You mount it on your VESA stand, and then you use it as a screen. This feels really high class and modern, like properly good. I really love how this thing feels. And I love the design. You just pop it here magnetically as well, and you shut it down. Brilliant design, very modern, very high class feeling. The only thing is this plastic rocker. I think it's out of place for a high class and a high price device like this. Alright, so all I did was I used the supplied USB-C to USB-C cable, plug that into my laptop, or output of my laptop into here, and that's the only cable, so it is able to receive power and the signal via the USB-C. I didn't have to push any button or anything like that. You simply plug it in, it boots up, and there you go. The next thing was, of course, to set up in Windows the external display. It shows up normally, so now I'm just using the extended display option, and that's pretty much it. So with the USB-C cable, it is definitely able to transmit touch input, which is really cool, because then you can normally interact with everything here. So let's try here with the refresh button. Okay, so this is the default settings. I have my, this is basically what I got here as Google News. I've intentionally switched my browser theme to bright because that's what e-ink screens prefer. Now, I don't know what kind of speed this is, but the initial impression is that the display quality is good. The front light seems to be washing it out a little bit, but we'll see how we can actually compensate for that, because that was the problem with the Dasung as well. When you employed the front light, then it would just kind of wash out everything quite a bit. So let's try on this controlled image here and see. This is supposed to be the function button, and I can cycle through functions. So let's try and see. And then I'm supposed to use my rocker to go between options. Oh, these are the speed options. Okay, and then we have, okay, so this is the most detailed, this is the text option, and you can see the clarity is actually quite good, of course at the expense of speed. So the clarity is really good, actually quite maybe a little bit better. No, pretty similar to Max Lumi. So very similar highest quality setting here. So then we have the video quality, which is the lowest one. We have maybe this is the text option. Yeah, this is the text option. The picture, the other one was picture option. Okay, so text option is high contrast and really nice refresh speeds. So I'm able to, but if you go into picture content, then the high contrast ratio is far too much. The text option is definitely too strong for picture stuff. This is, I guess, standard, and this is like a standard A2 mode. A little bit better than the standard A2 mode that you would get, actually quite a bit better than the standard A2 mode that you would get on, for example, Max Lumi. Of course, there's some degradation of quality, but you can see that it's rather smooth, even though, and it's not all terribly ghosted. So this is actually quite usable, and I'm impressed that this is so clear. It's very easy to use. The responsiveness with the touchscreen is brilliant. It's really nice. So this is most definitely working. Let's see now if I switch to video mode. The speed is even faster, but the picture quality is degrading. We will try the video mode a little bit later. I'm just trying to test out these modes and see what are they like for browsing. And this is the picture mode, or this is not a picture mode, this P is for something else, and I'll check out what it stands for. But it's the slowest one and most detailed one, but it's not really handling images all that well. It's mostly for text here, for kind of reading and things like that. So it's an interesting one, but I'm unsure what it's for. I'll have to read up and then see what that one is for. As I said, I just unboxed it, and this is first impressions. So the standard mode indeed is really good to kind of use for this kind of stuff, especially for reading. So browsing your internet and reading your news, extremely usable. Yeah, fine. Yeah, I can definitely use this. There's some kind of flashiness when you have video content around, as you can see here, and that tends to create a little bit of jitteriness. Here, there's video content. So let's go to video and see. Oh well, that's very smooth. Now, when we're at video, let's go and see this one here. So let's maximize and play. And let's see what we get. Well, this is fairly smooth. Of course, the picture quality is degraded. But if you are in a pinch to actually watch something and take a look at some video content, well, okay, this is a weird video, but still a lot of shaking. That's why I wanted to kind of see it in a lot of similar kind of colors. So this is a demanding type of a video because it can show quite a bit of ghosting. Plus, it's elephants playing with the balls. I mean, come on, that's freaking cool right there. But yeah, there's not that much ghosting, and it's actually able to deal with it quite well. This is very, very usable video mode. Of course, it's going to be interesting to see how do video modes on Dasung and Mira directly compare, but just as a standalone device, this is definitely something that is usable. Now let's see if so I don't have to go into a mode to actually get it. And even the standard mode is actually quite usable for the video, where the picture quality is dramatically improved compared to the video, but you do get that kind of weird flashing. I'm not sure if the camera is going to pick it up, but you do get some flashing, and that is disconcerting. That's something that would kind of affect me after a little while. What I'm actually surprised with is just the ease of interaction with it. It just works. I mean, you plug it in and it just works. That's a really, really cool thing. All right, so now let's see the other options. We got speed. So we got mode and we got speed. Okay, cool. So I can make it faster standard. Wow, okay. This is pretty cool. So you got the contrast mode and then you got the speed. So this is standard in fastest mode. Really, really nice and fast. So this is a very cool thing to actually see. And do we have that flashing? Yeah, we do. So let's see. Okay, so if we go to speed and lower it all the way down, yeah, the quality is improved of the images, definitely. But so is the speed lower down. But I really like how much options you actually have, and the range is huge. I mean, this is still the same mode, you're just adjusting the speed difference, which is quite a big thing. So this is pretty cool. All right, so let's try different mode. So this is text. Okay, let's try the P mode. Okay, so this is kind of regal, I believe. And this is, and let's try video at the fastest mode. There we go, and let's go and play the same video. Okay, heck of a lot of ghosting now. Refresh. But we're getting very, very smooth rates here. This is now super smooth, and we don't have ghosting. The thing that is happening, faster it is, more washed out the image is. So let's just move through this, because I know this is a bad section, but here with the water splashing, yeah, so if you have a high contrasting video, this will definitely work and absolutely usable. And again, I don't know how it compares to Dasung. I'll have to compare it in a dedicated video for that, but this is basically what we got here so far. So let's go back to the news and let's go back to the standard mode and put the speed somewhere around here. Actually, let's just keep it on the fastest one because it's really nice. This is how I would use it, so that's what I'm kind of trying to do. Then we got contrast control. Okay, so you can wash it out. Hey, you can hold down the rocker and it will increase. So the range of the images, let's check out this one. So you can see the range of contrast. So this is maximum contrast, and you have quite a nice calibration of the contrast. And this is the lightest one, and then it actually works quite well. So here's another image. Yeah, So this is pretty good. Let's keep it, let's see here. This one, so a bit lighter, something like this. All right, so the next one we have, what is this? This is the whiteness or the lightness. So you have both controls here, and you can actually calibrate it exactly to your liking, because each one of these has a very, very large range, which is nice, very nice to see. Then we got the brightness control. This is the night light. So this is it turned off. And so we have the dual light. And here's immediately one big advantage over the Dasung, because the Dasung, even though they say it has a night light, it's more like a purple one and a blue light, so it's not the proper night light. This one definitely has them. So this would be, let's see, this would be both front lights at their brightest. And yes, it does wash out the image somewhat, but nothing terrible. The range is really, really large. So let's now put it somewhere around the middle. Both of them. Still quite bright. What I would probably use it as is, let's see, this one. So maybe at 2. Okay, so let's see. Let's load up the news. Okay. This is quite nice. All right, so let's turn off the light. You can actually get some very nice combinations here. Okay, so now it's totally turned off light. And you know what? This, depending on your scene or your room lighting, of course, it depends what you can see, but I'm not in a video mode. And that flashiness, while it's still present here, but it's far less distracting than it was with the front light turned on. The contrast is very nice. I can clearly see everything that I would like. And the device does not have speakers, so no, you can't play sound through it. You need a dedicated device that will have sound to play it from. So this is pretty much, yeah, this is pretty interesting. The resolution I didn't mention, it's the same as Max Lumi. So I believe that would be 2200 by probably 1650. Yeah, 1650 by 2200. So 207 ppi. So far, my first impression is that I really like it. I like the results that I'm seeing. I don't know how they are comparing to Dasung. We will see that when we compare the results directly. There's going to be back-to-back comparison in the same shot so that we can see how that works. Ease of use, absolutely amazing. I mean, plug and play. Talk about that with the USB-C. USB-C cable is provided for you. HDMI cable is provided for you. The cover itself doubling up as a stand as well, which is a really nice thing to see. So basically, if I have it like this, it's actually far more stable than the Dasung with its tiny little leg. So this is much better configuration, and it looks better, and it's far more modern. So this is a very usable thing. Now, of course, when I'm gonna do the full in-depth review, I'm gonna be putting it through showing you text editing, code, and all the other stuff, because on the box they say that it's okay, so word processing, daily office, so Excel sheets, coding, distance learning, and web browsing. So we got web browsing here kind of covered, and we'll kind of show that off a little bit more in the in-depth review. But in the in-depth review, I want to test out those things and see how it actually fares under different conditions and what's the real world usability of this one. And then finally, we'll have a back-to-back shootout between the Dasung Paperlike HD Pro or whatever it's called, and the Boox Mira. So for now, first impressions, absolutely love the design. Absolutely love it. It's brilliant build quality, excellent design. Really love the fact that we got the cover here, part of the device itself, that it's magnetic. Attention to detail is just beautiful. Ability to mount it to Visa, 2 USB-C ports, an HDMI as well, and all of these things. I just wish that the rocker was made out of metal, because longevity-wise, you know, it feels a little kind of... That's the only gripe that I have. Everything else is pretty much bang on. All right, so the first impressions. I love the build quality, I love the design, I love the thoughtfulness around it, and I love the usability of it. It was really, really easy and very intuitive to actually just get into it and plug in a single cable and you're good to go. Everything that I expected it to work worked out of the box. I didn't have to set up touch input or this or that. It just worked the way an external display is supposed to do. And that's a good thing, especially for the price point, which is quite high. I mean, these devices are very, very pricey still. So yeah, they better perform. Now, the build quality is astonishing. It's like a single uni metal body with a plastic on top for the bezel, and that built-in magnetic cover, the way it's styled and designed, it's like form and function together, and they are really, really nice. This is something that feels very modern and very, very good. The picture quality is also really good, and the performance is better than what I initially expected, because I saw some sporadic comments online where people said that it was actually nothing like Dasung, and the Dasung was actually a lot better. My first impression from working from the memory from Dasung, it was not like that, but that's why I'm going to be doing that back-to-back testing, so that I can see objectively what's what, because subjective impressions and memories, they play tricks on us, and it's always best to kind of see A, B, and then clearly you see what's what. But out of the box, I do prefer the build quality, the design, the bells and whistles, the connectivity, and all of that kind of stuff. It feels like a much more modern device. It's much prettier, it's much more robust. The built-in cover with the adjustable stand, it's also more dominant than the Dasung. So right out of the box, these kind of design, build quality, and all other things are so far in favor of Mira. The display quality that I've seen so far wasn't anything that I would just immediately dismiss and say, it's okay, but it's nothing close to Dasung. Actually, it feels quite close, but we'll have to see. I think the video performance is better on Dasung, if my memory serves me right, but we'll see. Overall, I'm impressed with it because it's really versatile and extremely easy to use. Plus, it's beautiful. Plus, you can just flip it as a cover and put it somewhere on the side, which makes it really, really good for smaller office tables and all the things like that. I mean, you can just chuck it into a drawer and then pull it out when you need it, put it on a table, and then use it. So that's something that I really, really like. It feels like a modern device, and a device that is suitable to portability and modern type of both home and office use and all these kind of things. So quite a lot of thought seems to have gone into the design and the concept, what Boox Mira is as an external display. So those are the things that I like. In the in-depth review, I'm going to continue testing out the device, and I'm going to go specifically through its use case scenario and how it actually performs as a word processor, Excel sheet, web browsing, coding, and all that kind of stuff, so that you can actually see that. And then finally, we'll have the Mira versus paper-like kind of back-to-back video and see what's what. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for the support. If you like the video, please like and subscribe, and ding the notification bell down below to get notified when new videos come out on My Deep Guide. Also, check out the My Daily Organizer, which is a interactive, fully hyperlinked document organizer, yearly organizer, monthly, quarterly, weekly, daily organizer, diary, and all that kind of stuff. You can check out the link also in the description below. Check out the playlist, lots of description videos, so that you can get an idea if that's something that you might like or not. Stay safe, stay healthy, and see you in the next video. Bye!